Do you know what? That's actually put me in a jazzy mood.
You like that, do you, dude?
Yeah, I actually said at the start, this is jazzy.
I honestly thought that was just a part of the intro. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Really doing it deliberately. Hi and good evening and welcome to the wackiest Spurs channel around. Yes, you got me, aka Dermatron. You got the Spurs Stig, and also you got faceless Boris. Boris will show his face one day. He's just waiting for Doctor Doom or Iron Man to just give him his new suit. But anyway,
Exactly.
Pardon?
Exactly.
Isn't there a young version of Iron Man? What's it called?
There is, yeah. That's Boris. Boris, the young Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm rich. I never knew that.
Yeah. You're like
Okay.
Harry Potter. You got loads of money in the bank and you don't know you're rich. I mean, that ball.
Wait, so that means if I'm Harry Potter and Iron Man, my parents would have to die to get that money.
That's true.
That's true. That sucks.
I know it sucks, but if it's money at the end of the day, it's money. Might as well.
Sacrifices have to be made.
I'll tell you one thing. What a way to start a show.
Word.
No wonder we're losing subscribers. Anyway, good evening and welcome to THF's Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting feature on the Arch Postecoglou. The mighty Aussie's going to take us to glory and take us to the promised land. And joining me tonight, of course, is my usual one co-host. We don't know about the other fella. He's a bit weird. But some say he was in the Arsenal dressing room at the training ground today, talking to Arteta, asking him, how does he feel about losing against Spurs in the North London derby? Hang on. Don't say anything. Do you want to say anything, Boris? Do you want to know what he's been? Something that people don't know about the Spurs Stig.
Yeah, no. Like, why would he be in the Arsenal dressing room all this time? That's my question.
So anyway, well, we know he's called the Spurs Stig. Hello, Spurs Stig. How are you this evening?
I'm okay. And as for what I was in the dressing room, I was a mirror. So Arteta was looking at himself all day. So I was the mirror in the dressing room. He couldn't stop looking at himself because he's so handsome.
Okay. And joining us all, of course, is our youngest member of the group, our youngest Spurs fan, the man that brings balance to a load of oldies that talk nonsense. He's the one that talks sense. Of course, it's the one and only Boris. Boris, how are you this evening?
Thanks, Dermo.
Yeah, I'm good. If I'm making more in this group, bringing the average age rating down by quite a bit.
Yeah, our channel is now an average age of 102.
Before Boris joined, it was like 150. So there we are.
It was, yeah.
I want to know it was almost 150 years old. That's my question.
Well, Philip's in his
Be nice, Dermo.
20s. Hello, Philip, if you're watching.
Evening, Philip.
I'm gonna have to expect him after me saying that, him appearing. I can see him get me his dollar here, there. That fucker. I'm gonna get him.
That'll be another horse's head, Dermo, to add to your collection.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've got about 55 at the moment. I'm looking to make 60, not out. But guys, yes, you can pick up memberships again. I know it's amazing. I mean, we found out the Spurs Stig passed out. We just couldn't get him to speak, and we still don't know. We know he's got a beard, which is something we've learned about him. Also, we know he likes American football by what he's wearing. So we're learning a lot about the Spurs.
I was just doing my Wayne Rooney impression, actually.
Yeah, so pick up your memberships. Also, guys, if you can, send in the super chat. It does help us grow. But please pick up your memberships because as from Sunday, we're starting post-match member shows where if you become a member, you get to come on after the Newcastle game and you get to have your say. It really does help us grow, guys. It really does. We've been struggling for the last couple of months, but we've also got another bit of news for you as well, guys. We've got ourselves a new sponsor, which is coming. It's a VPN sponsor. The name of the company is, just let me get it here. Where's the name of it now? I did send it to you. They're called Cape Technologies. They're one of the biggest private internet access VPNs in America with over 9 million customers. We're just waiting on the code, and we're just waiting on the QR code and what you can use to get money off. But that is coming. They are now becoming the proper Spurs THFC Till I Die sponsor of our channel. So thank you for them for even thinking of sponsoring us. Thank you so much. It means a lot to myself. It means a lot to Boris Tequila when he's around. And Philip and Colin as well. So look, I've just seen what DJ Sammy was putting. That's quite funny. But yeah, we've got that coming. So as soon as we get the code, guys, we will give it to you straight away. But as from today, we've got the news. We're now being sponsored by Kept Technologies, private internet access VPN, and we are over the moon. It's a big thing for the channel, and it's taken us to a different level, hasn't it, Tequila? Or the Spurs thing, sorry.
I'm laughing at DJ Samuel. Thanks, mate. Yeah, no, it's been a while, hasn't it? We've been demonetized, obviously, by the great YouTube for about 5 months. So thank God we've got them back there, mate. And I'm happy to see that some of the old lads who were members before have picked up their memberships again. So we really are grateful, guys. And if anyone wants to grab one, it'll be worth your time. We're going to do our best to add more content. As well as the fan shows, we're going to be doing some pre-records for members as well over
even live member shows. We might even do some live member shows as well. Me and Tequila might come on and do a few.
If there's enough demand for it, yeah. Well,
if there's enough demand for it, we will. And Boris or Philip, whatever, we will do it. Let's see who's in the chat tonight, guys. Let's see who's joining us on this magnificent channel of ours as we grow. Carl Simpson, good evening. Evening, gents and chat. What we need to know about New Europa League is Spurs have been given a bye to the final. Exactly. Big up to Simply Ace. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Simply Ace. Big up, Geordie. Now, Geordie, Tequila's trying to get hold of you, sir, because we would like you to come on.
I was going to message him and just let him know that if he wants to come on for the pre-match with us against you guys, let us know. I'll just invite him now while we're talking about it. So. If you want to come on, you can email the channel. I'll put the email up, Geordie. So email the channel, and one of us will get back to you if you want to come on.
Yeah. So you just take over for a minute there, Tequila. Sorry.
Sure. Where did we get?
That's all right. I'm okay now. Yeah. Let us know, Geordie. Big up, Geordie. Also got Colin as well.
I'll put the email in the chat. One sec, guys.
Yeah. Don't like it. Okay, big up to Tequila. I know what he means by don't like it. I know what he's on about. I think we all know what he's on about. Big up to DJ Sammy as well. Big up, DJ. Hope you're well, sir. And also remember, memberships are now available, guys, as well. So please do pick them up. It means a lot to us, guys. The troublemakers are all on stream. Yes, of course we are. We've got Hog God 10. Big up, Hog God. Good evening, Dermot, Tequila, Boris, and chat. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, moderators, he's saying. Good evening. We've got Colin. Please consider becoming a channel. See, Colin says it politely, not like us. We just beg because we just got no class. Here's the man with class. Please consider.
Don't feed that ego. What are you doing, man?
I tell you what, I'm going to get Boris to read this out. Boris, you read this out because you've got.
Don't feed it, Boris. Put a bit of disdain in. Don't feed the ego. You have no idea what you're doing. Don't feed this dude's ego.
Consider becoming a member now. We have our memberships back, and it helps keep the channel going and growing. Also, to jump ahead of the charts, getting your super chats and see your name and see you name in glory. See your name in glory. I think that's what it meant it for.
See, we've got the young Murray Walker with us. I can see potential in Boris. There's potential in you, Boris.
Murray Walker.
Yeah. Well, gotta think of something.
I'm more like Cammy with all my fucking stuttering. I don't know, Jeff.
You can be Cammy from now on, Boris.
You can be Cammy from now on. I just hope Hansch does not throw away the Europa League. No, he won't. The Spurs Stig, look, the Spurs Stig. Yeah, some say the Spurs Stig was a member of the Hatton Garden job.
It's better than other jobs it could be.
Thank you for that, DJ. keep sending them in. I'm going to save some of these. Big up to Mr. Dan Davenport.
Big up,
Another
Dan.
absolute. He's a legend. This lad, right? You could be really down in the dumps, right? He'll come in and he just cheers you up.
Yeah, so I swear I've seen so many streams on like even.
Yeah, Dan. He's very
like,
loyal to a lot of Spurs channels. Yeah, mate.
Yeah, the ones that you see him in is and not talking. It's not talking ball. It's the other one. I can't remember. But he's in quite a lot of them. I know he's in Kate's quite often.
And I first saw Dan. Big up Dan. I think I met Dan in Dave's chat, There's the Irish Hotspurs chat. I've seen him in there.
I've got so much time for this man. He is a gentleman and he's an absolute legend. And he really cheers me. If I'm feeling down, I see him. And KVP's another one. Him and KVP are the most loveliest men on YouTube. They really are good lads. Hot God renewed membership. Bless you. Thanks, Hot God.
Cheers,
quite a lot.
Cheers, bro.
It hasn't come up on YouTube yet, but as soon as it does, we will bring it up your name in full glory that you've renewed your membership. Screw you, YouTube, for making me change the music. Yeah, we won't go into that.
Of course, that's Carl.
Yeah. Some say the stig looks like a
cat with his massive helmet.
Yeah.
That could be taken lots of ways, that one.
I think we know what we wanted it to take.
Yeah.
Let's be
honest.
Anyway, Carl.
Well, we're here to bring you...
I'm just compensating for something, but I won't say what.
Right, well, can I get on with the show now?
Yeah.
Spurs Stig. You behave yourself. Right. This is what you need to know about the new Europa League.
Oh, God.
What has the UEFA said about the new format? Even they saying, for F's sake, I don't understand it and why change it.
Well, we all know why they changed it. I think we can leave that to chat. Know why they've changed it. Money.
Anyway, what does Europe mean? Well, look, this is the groups, lads. Right, we're in Pot A. We're in Pot 1 because of our European history. With Manchester United, Roma, Rangers, Lazio, Porto, and Frankfurt. Pot 2 is Olympiacos and Lyon. And then the pots to be decided is Real Sociedad, Alkmaar, Union St. Cloud, Nice, FC20, Atletico Bilbao, Fenerbahce, Hoffman, Galatasaray, Dynamo Kiev, and Malmo. So we should know tomorrow. Should know Friday about, because all these playoffs are tomorrow night or tomorrow night, guys. I want to start with you, Boris. What does Europe mean to you as a young fan?
Well, Europe means to me the only time I've ever seen us go far in Europe is obviously the 2019 final, and every other single campaign after that we've always got knocked out in the round of 16, the group stage, or the quarterfinals at most. So Europe to me won't mean as much as it will to you or maybe the chat, because you've been fans of Spurs for a lot longer than I have. So to me, hope really, because I feel like because I've got a question about Europa League for you guys and for the chat anyways later on, but once we've finished all this. But I think it's just hope really, because you get that sort of excitement, like the fact that you're facing teams what you haven't faced before, or you have faced, but it's been quite a while since you have done. Like, let's be honest, we haven't faced some of these teams what we could end up being up against at all, and this is what the Europa League is about, finding unknown talent and stuff like that. Like, look, Aguero was found in, Oblak was found, Neuer, all these players were found in the Europa League.
Yeah, that's true. And Tequila, look, you've been a fan not as long as me, but a bit before me. What does Europe mean to you as a fan?
Well, my first memories of Spurs in Europe was when we were still very much in the mid-table. With I always remember Stephen Carr, and I always remember us going out to Leverkusen in the UEFA. It was I can't remember what it was called back then. Just
UEFA Cup.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's right. So that's my first memory. So I'm a little bit with Boris, with the exception. There's 2 seasons I can remember us doing well in Europe. One obviously is getting to the final, of course, and there was a season under Redknapp when I think we went out to Real Madrid,
and that was in the Champions League.
Yeah,
in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. So those are my 2 biggest memories for me of live in the Europa League. I don't know. We've been in it quite a few times. We never seem to. And I know there was somebody in the chat who asked. I think it might have been Simply Ace. We don't seem to take it that we take the Champions League seriously, even though we don't get that far. But when in Europa, I do feel a little bit that maybe the players, and this could be a problem with the club, Dermo. Maybe think it's beneath.
I disagree with you completely because I think it's the new.
You don't think the players don't? I'm not. No. I don't mean the man. I mean the players think it's beneath them.
No.
Okay.
Because this new format, I think, will change that. I think the old format, if you're playing the team like from the
I was talking about history. I don't know about this year. I was talking about in the history of the Europa. I don't think we've taken it seriously in the history.
We have. Well, we've won it twice, and we've.
Yeah, but I mean under my watch. I mean under my watch.
He's meaning our recent history of it. It's like the past 20 or so years. Not like when we've won it consistently. Like look, when we were playing in the Europa Conference League. Jose wanted us to be out of that as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But that was the manager, wasn't it?
But the manager also has that sort of effect on players wanting to get them out. And like they would have also thought if Jose doesn't see it as important, they won't see it as important.
Yeah. Ange will see it as important. Big up to Mick Harmlick as well.
Big up, Mick. Nice to see you, Mick.
You haven't seen me for a while, so good evening.
Hope the family's well, Mick. Hope the family's well, Mick.
Yeah. So look, for me, history, I remember us winning it in 84. Of course, I don't remember us winning it in 72 and the runners-up in 74. But I remember winning it 40 years ago. 40 years ago, that last European run was. When young old Dermotron was only 7 or 8 at that time. I was 8 years old the last time we won a Europa League, the UEFA Cup. And seeing Tony Park save them penalties and Graham Roberts going in there, getting that. I mean, it's if you want a game where Spurs do it the Spurs way, you need to watch that final. That second leg was something else. But yeah, we do. Now, there are 20 teams confirmed to be playing in the Europa League this season, but the pots are yet to be filled ahead of the draw with another 16 teams needed to be added. Winners from this week's Europa League playoffs and losers from the remaining Champions League playoffs will be included. Kickoff times will be confirmed close to the fixture dates, but these are the fixtures. Match day 1 is September 25th, 26th. Match day 2, October the 3rd. Match day 3, October 24th. Pardon me. Match day 4, the 7th, November 7th. Match day 5, November 28th. Match day 6. Who's typing?
Me. Sorry, I'm trying to get an email for Geordie if he's still in the chat.
Sorry. Match day 28 is for match day 5. Match day 7 is January to 23rd, and match day 8 is at the end of January. Look, it's a league basis, so do you understand it a bit more, Boris? So do you want to quickly go through how this works?
Yeah, I sort of understand it, but I don't at the same time because nobody really truly understands it. But I'd probably say the way you can think about it is the fact is, like, I think teams 1 to 8, if I remember correctly, or 1 to 16, I think. I think it's 1 to 8. Those lot are actually automatically put into the round of 16. And then then from 8 to 16 or 8 to 24, I can't remember.
It's 8 to 24 go into a playoff, and then
8 to 24 it goes into playoffs, and then the remaining like 8 teams from that then put into the round of 16 as well. Then it goes back to the regular sort of format. Still no aggregate and stuff like that. But this is a question for you guys as well now and the chat. Would you be happy if we got 9th place but we won the Europa League?
Bite your hand off, mate.
Yeah, I would bite your hand off.
Yeah, because we are getting Champions League in that essence, and we're also winning a trophy at that same point. So I know the Champions League money leaving would be a bit disappointed, but you'd also see the upsides that we've won the trophy. What would then entice more sponsors to come in and probably raise the value of the club a bit more in his eyes to make more money out of the sale.
Yeah. And it would get a lot of fans, not all, there still would be some, trust me, but it'd get a lot of fans off his back. It would.
Yeah.
So,
are you concerned about the amount of games we're going to have to play in this new format, though? There is a lot more games. It's 4 at home, 4 or 8. We have to play 8 teams. There's going to be more games. Usually in the old format, it was done before Christmas. This one's now done before February. Where are you on this, Tequila? I mean, is it going to be extra on us? Is that one thing that's going to fear for us for our season?
It's going to be new, but I mean, everyone else in Europe is going to be facing the extra games. But a team like Newcastle, for example, who have no Europe, could actually be the biggest beneficiary because, you know, we are playing extra games than we normally would. But the other teams around us who we're going to be competing with for the European places, they're all going to be having the same issues. So it equals that out. That's why we needed a larger squad, really. I mean, we have got a larger squad overall, but I think that's why a lot of us want at least a couple more signings, because it's not only just about the first team. It isn't. And a lot of these kids have been bought to fill out those spots, and that's good. But we could use a couple more, especially a left back. I know it's not a transfer show, but because of all these extra games, you know, we do need a couple more. We need a larger squad, I think. I think that could be a problem for us, especially if you start getting some injuries and stuff. So,
yeah, I'm muted. I've got a question for you guys, right? How will the new Europa League format impact teams and strategies' chances of success in the competition? Now, if you look at Spurs' history as a whole, we've been quite successful in Europe. We are a successful team, not like Liverpool and that, but we have won 2 out of the 3 major European competitions. So how will Spurs find a new format, and how will it impact Tottenham and their season, Boris? Where do you think, will it impact it badly, or do you think we might relish it?
I think it'll impact us anyway in regards to it, even if it's going to, as Tequila said, it's going to impact every other single team who's in Europe, whether that be Chelsea, Man United themselves, at Villa, Liverpool, Arsenal, and City. It's all going to impact all of them. Like, we've only seen City bring in 2 players, and that's Savio and then Gundogan. Those are the only 2 players they've actually had back, and then these. So that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like I do agree with Tequila. We do need like another left back, left-sided centre back, like for depth, and I feel like we'll end up getting that if Reguilon gets sold, because he seems to be getting sold within like the next few days, as well as Lo Celso. If those 2 get sold, I feel like we'll go for like another midfielder, but also like a left back who can also play as a left-sided centre back, because we know what Ange likes. Ange likes players what can play multiple roles, versatility. Like look at Wilson, he can play left wing and right wing. Son can play right wing if he really needs to, striker and left wing. Kulu can play right wing centrally and striker. Maddison can play right wing, central, and central second midfielder or central midfielder. Like, all these players can play multiple positions, but I feel like we have to also remember it is only a 25-man squad we can take into the Europa League as well. And you have to also remember the registration rules as well, like club trains. So Mikey Moore will have to get registered for that. Lancashire will, and probably a few other players would have been club trained, honestly. So that'll probably be like Brandon Austin or something like that.
Look, Tequila, whether the new format will affect more interest from fans and media, how it might change the perception of the European competition for you?
I want Ange to take it seriously, but I have a feeling he won't. And I don't think it's because of him not wanting.
I don't agree with that, Tequila. I really don't agree with that. And I think I'm sorry.
Dermo, you got to let me finish my point first, yeah? Bless you. Because he's going to be under strict rules from my mate Danny, probably the Priorities League. So that is always going to be the case. The priority is the league. So, what do you think is going to happen if we're on a bad run of form, for example, and we've got a big game coming at the weekend? Do you think he's going to prioritize the Europa League that week, or is he going to be resting his main squad to handle the big game at the weekend? What do you think is the most likely situation?
You win the Europa League, you get into the Champions League. So it's another route to the Champions League.
Yeah. But with the Europa League, assuming we get out of the group stage, if you lose one, all you need to have is one bad night in one of the cup games, and you're out. You just need one bad night. With a league, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you can come back from having a bad league game and still be successful. If you have a bad night in the cup, especially when you get to the knockouts, that's it. Just takes one bad night. It takes one bad ref call. It takes one bad red card from a moment of stupidity from one of your players, and that's it. That's why this whole winning a trophy via the cups thing is a big ask, because it's so much luck. It rides on it. Because you have one bad night and that's it. You're out for the season. The league isn't the same.
I mean, Europe for me this season is so important because it's another revenue into the Champions League. So you got to take it seriously.
I'm not saying that we as fans don't take it seriously. I'm saying from Ange Postecoglou's remit, from what Daniel Levy wants him to do. Our source yesterday told us that top 4 is more or less that's what he's been told that he's got to get. So what do you think he's going to do if he has to choose between the Europa game and the big game away to Newcastle, for argument's sake, or whoever it is, right? What do you think his priority is going to be for that week?
I don't know. I want to say big up to Tyler as well. So, hey, Dermot, how you doing, brother? Not too bad, Tyler. Great to see you in as well. Yeah. Oh God, says Richie, go away. It's gone. Don't worry. He says predicted texts do my head in. Yeah, they do. Carl said just lock Levy needs offers for the Football for Dummies book and tell him to stay there until he knows what it means to win. Look, I disagree with you in a way that
that's fine, dude. But you're gonna have to back it up. So why then?
I will back it up because it's a route into the Champions League. Levy will take it seriously. And Ange will take it seriously because it's a route into another competition. Sorry, Taylor, can you just take over, mate? Sorry.
I'll read some of the chats. And where did Demi get up to? Anyone know? Boris, do you know where Demi got up to?
Predictive text in my head in from Hot God. But I think there was also a couple more from above. So
okay, well we'll have a look. Well, we've read that one. Okay. Zeddy or Zeddle, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Big up, mate. Give me a proper S team at home so we can play a completely rotated 11.
That's the thing that we also have to remember. There's only 8 to 10 matches. What are actually a big risk? I know it's still 30 point between 20 something points and 30 odd points on the line from those 10 matches. But yeah. I still feel like I also do agree with you. There is a chance that I will focus on the league because the Europa League, winning that and getting into Champions League, it's not as much money as if it would be getting to just automatic top 4 to get automatic Champions League. Yeah. But we also have to remember, 5th place also gets Champions League now as well if Premier League teams do great in Europe as well due to the new coefficient ratings.
Here's a question. Can
I answer your question, Tequila? Because I didn't get a chance to answer it. And I want to back up what I was saying. With the new format, I think that helps us more than it disadvantages us in a way. Because it's a league basis. It's not a group thing. So all you got to do is finish in the top 8. And as long as you can win your first 4 games and win your first, say, 5 games, I think you're guaranteed automatic qualification to the round of 16. So that's, for me, it's thing. And Ange will take it seriously because we will demand he take it seriously. This is a competition we have a proud history in. This is a competition we've done well in the past. And I get what you're saying about top 4 and Champions League, but it's another route to Champions League. And Daniel Levy will take this as seriously as if we're 5th or 6th in the league and we're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and he knows we're not going to qualify for the Champions League. He knows damn well if we win this competition, we're in the Champions League next season. So I think a lot of teams will take it. Man United will take it seriously. We will take it seriously. And I can understand your point, but I just think we will. And I think we can win this competition. I think personally it's going to be a Spurs Man United final in Bilbao. I really do believe that. And look, respect your opinion, Tequila. Absolutely, you always speak sense and logic, but I'm sorry.
I've got a bit more to add in a sec that will make you rethink. Maybe you tell me what you think. What do you think's the easiest thing to achieve this season? Finishing in the top 4 or winning the Europa League?
Winning the Europa League.
Okay.
The Premier League is so the Premier League is so unpredictable. Anyone could beat anyone in the Premier League.
So percentage-wise, you think there's a higher chance this season of us winning the Europa League than finishing 4th? It's a simple. I mean, is that what you think?
Look, if I'm taking the Premier League as I know the Premier League, then probably be yes.
Then I understand your point. If you think that that's the easiest route to the Champions League, then yes, I agree that is the route we should take. I don't know what Daniel Levy thinks. I don't know what Ange thinks. I don't know if you asked him the same question, you sat them down and said, okay, Ange, what's more likely to happen this year with our team? We win the Europa League or we finish 4th? I don't know what he tells you. I don't know what Levy tells you either. But this is my point: is that if that's really the case and they really believe that, then what Ange should do then is play his strongest team in the Europa League and then play the more rotated players at the weekend. But if he did that, I think that everybody would be like, oh, well, why is he resting players for the Premiership? He'd get absolutely crucified.
Yeah. Look. What do you think, Boris? Where's your take on it, sir?
Honestly, in regards to it, I think it's the exact. It's in the middle, really. Like, I agree with both of you. Like, I'd say probably the Europa League is the easiest way to get winning the Europa League is probably going to be the easiest way of getting top 4. Because we also have to remember, like, how many other squads around us have also improved significantly as well compared to us. Like, look at Brighton, they're not in Europe, and look how much I think, what was it like? They spent so far 200 odd million this window, and look how many players they've brought in. They've essentially brought in a new starting 11. And in that regard, like, that's how much they've got quite a lot of depth. And, like, let's be honest, I feel like they've kept a lot of key players from last season still inside of the squad. So and we saw what happened against Man United. They got a late last-minute winner in the 95th minute. They're probably also going to be a team you have to watch out for because their manager also seems a bit unpredictable compared to everyone else. Whereas the Europa League, I'm not disrespecting anybody in it because it is a tough competition to win, but everything's tough to win. You can only always beat the only game in front of you, really. So it's just a luck of the draw, really. Like, sometimes we might get lucky in certain aspects. Like, might get easy teams to, like, in a knockout. In the league table phase, we might get some easy teams in the knockouts. I feel like once it comes down to like the quarters or semi-finals, that's when we will have to start actually keeping our head on tight because like that'll be like the final few teams we're actually going to be a true threat at us not winning that competition.
Yeah, well, listen, just to give you an update, West Ham have beaten Bournemouth 1-0 in the League Cup. Ipswich and Wimbledon has now gone to penalties, guys. So that's a bit of a shock. Southampton have beaten Cardiff 5-3. That's a bit of a shock. Southampton scoring 2 goals in injury time, by the way, to win that.
Yeah, West Ham, they're getting a new goalkeeper soon anyways.
Yeah, they are. Brentford have beaten Colchester 1-0. Just going through the scores for you. Wolves have beaten Burnley 2-1. 1-1 for Newcastle and Forest. I think that's going to penalties as well, guys. But we will keep you up to date with the draw as it happens. The draw has been made. So Champions League, Europa Leagues have now been given, they've done a pre-draw. It's been changed a little bit. Well, we are going to go into that later. Did you want to bring this comment up here? Is that you that started that, Tequila?
No, mate. Wasn't me.
I didn't start it.
All right, probably me then. I just can't see us going all out to win the Europa League due to amount of games. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know.
Can I fire you guys a question quickly, Dermo?
Pardon?
Can I fire you a question quickly? It's to
You
do
can.
with this.
I big up the Hot God. Your member thing hasn't come up, Hot God, and it'll probably come up in the next stream. But thank you so much for renewing your membership. It means a hell of a lot to us all. So thank you very much indeed.
Cheers, bro.
Spurs versus Rangers, tasty. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Me and you have a discussion, and Boris, obviously, you give your opinion as well, bruv. That if we finish sixth, but one that didn't win a trophy, Ange should be sacked. How about this one? Let's say that Boris is right, and we were to finish 9th and win the Europa League. Does Ange get sacked? Because he's failed in the league, but he's won us a trophy.
No, because we're qualified for the Champions League.
So if he won the League Cup and he finished 9th, you think he would get sacked? But if he finished,
no, because he's won us a trophy. No.
I think it'll be impossible to sack him. It's like the jersey. I think that's also why he was fired like 5 days before the final. If he won that cup, none of the fans would have wanted him sacked. Even if they hated the way he played, it would have got the trophy. And even if we did end up winning against City, if we won that match, Jose, it would have been so hard for Levy to sack him, even with the poor performances.
Can I also say our game will be at home. We've been given a home draw in the 3rd round of the League Cup. Well, we don't know who against, but we will tell you that later. Jared says, Dermo, if we fail in Europe this year and don't qualify for the Champions League, but win the league, is that enough to save Ange's job? Would you be enough to save Ange? Would you be happy if that was the outcome this season? If we won the bloody league, you wouldn't see me.
I think he meant the League Cup, Dermo.
Is that what he meant?
Well,
is that what he meant?
Well, if he said league, so I'm going with that. If we won the league, you would not see me for dust. Me, Tequila, Boris, and Philip, and Colin were partying for the next year.
No, I think Colin would be angry because it was us.
That's the League Cup I meant. Oh, you brought me back down to earth. Yeah, it will save his job. I've sort of answered that question.
I think if any manager won a trophy, no matter how poor they did, it would save the job at Spurs due to how little we've won.
Didn't save Andy Ramos.
No. Well, he was shit.
But it didn't save Andy. When Ramos won the League Cup, he was still fired. We had a terrible start, 8 points from 3 games. Don't get me wrong, it was a terrible start. But him winning us the League Cup did not buy him that much more time. We still outed him.
That's Levy for you. He panics. I think Ange would need to make changes in the group round.
We're still under Levy's ownership, though, bro. What's the difference?
I just said that. I think Ange would need to make changes in the group rounds we have for squad, which is too thin. When we get KO'd, when we get to the knockout stages to field a stronger side, maybe so. We were Jordan Knacker's West Ham. Oh, God, I hope not. No worries, lads. No, keep Ange. I cannot take any more Spurs sacking managers. We need some calm years. Exactly. Give me a trophy. Give me a trophy, says Carl. I'm with Carl. Tractor Boys, says Killian. That we're going to get Ipswich, apparently. And then Ramos had a fight with Levy. That is why he was sacked.
Did somebody film it?
No, that is true. He argued with them. Trophy or £10,000?
Huh?
Is that asking what I want?
No, this is asking a trophy or 10 grand.
10 grand.
10 grand.
10 grand. Right. Let's get back into the Spurs' sort of European history, guys. This is them in all competitions. We've been in the Europa League or UEFA Cup more than any other European competitions. We've been in the Champions League 7 times. We haven't got a bad record in Europe, guys, by the way. 240 wins and only 65 defeats in all competitions. This is our home and away. At home, we've only lost 17 times in 130 games in Europe. Away, our away record is a bit more sketchy than our home record. On neutral ground, of course, 1 win and 1 loss. 1963, we won the Cup Winners' Cup in Rotterdam in In 2019, we lost the Champions League final in Spain. So our overall record, guys, home and away is 142 wins at home, 142 wins and only 65 defeats, which isn't bad considering we don't in Europe. Now, Tottenham, 62-63, we won the Cup Winners' Cup. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club become the first British club to win a major European competition as we dominated and ran riot in Rotterdam, where we beat Atletico Madrid 5-1. It was the Dyson final. The great Bill Nick was our manager after coming back, winning the FA Cup in 62 and the double in 61. So, do you know what I mean? Tequila, do you know? I know we weren't around then, but to become the first British club to win a major European competition, it's really something to be proud of, isn't it? To be fair.
Well, that was during really the prime years of Spurs. That was when obviously we were the biggest force there was during that period under our best ever manager.
Don't forget, Man United were in the 50s, late 50s in the European Cup as well. They entered European competitions well before we did. And they got to semi-finals and quarterfinals. And because of I think if they didn't have the Munich air crash, I think Matt Busby, Man United would have won the European Cup in 58. Just my opinion. But it's still an honour. Again, Tottenham were the first side to do something. In 72, they won the first ever UEFA Cup and have become the first British club to win two major European competitions, beating Wolves 3-2 over 2 legs. Then in 1974, we reached the final again. Our final won 4-2 in aggregate. Tottenham supporters rioted during the second leg in Rotterdam, which started after Feyenoord took the lead towards the end of the first half and continued into the second half. Guys, I mean, I know you and me were there, Tequila. Boris wasn't. What's your memories of that night in Rotterdam?
In 74, no chance, Dermo.
What was your memories of that night? I mean, look, firstly, it was our first ever European final defeat. When you look back at... Look, I asked you a question, right? And also, very quick before I ask you a question, 40 years ago, of course, 40 years ago, we won our last European trophy. We won 4-2 in penalties against Anderlecht. To this date, this remains the most recent European honour won by Tottenham Hotspur. And of course, in 2019, it will be another 35 years until Spurs reached another major European final where we were robbed of the Champions League. We were robbed. Liverpool did buy the referee. There was nowhere a penalty. It hit his armpit. And how could you give that as a penalty? And we should have started Luka Moura up front instead of an unfit Harry Kane. But look, that is history. And then, so before we get on to this bit, guys, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to start with you, Boris, because Tequila's around my sort of age group. When you look back at that history, does that make you proud to be a Spurs fan?
Of course, I think it'd make anybody proud to be a fan of any club, but as I've said multiple times, I can't relive that, so I can't be as proud of other people who've actually seen these sort of events happening, but I can still be proud of the fact that my club have achieved that, but unfortunately we haven't achieved anything like that since. Mm-hmm. But overall, yeah, I think anybody can be proud of what the club's achieved in their history, but... Even if you haven't seen it like I haven't, but it just doesn't have the same sort of make me sort of adore the club even more than I already do because I wasn't there to see it or witness anything of like the aftermath of what happened.
Do you see? This is what gets me. Me and Tequila were around then. I mean, how old were you in '84, Tequila?
In '84.
I mean, 4. I was 8.
4.
So. Okay, so I can remember 82 and 84, and us winning. I can remember us winning the Europa Cup, and I feel seeing us win a European, winning any cup and winning any cup competition, right? You when you win a cup, right, for Tottenham, your chest is out, you're pumping your chest, you're proud, you're Tottenham. Do you know, you're going around all summer, we've won this competition, we're the best. But to win a European competition, I tell you one thing, is on a different planet altogether. It really is, guys. And I feel for you guys, you haven't seen that. And I feel for Boris. I really feel for Boris that he hasn't seen success. You have, Tequila, right?
I mean, yeah,
but you haven't seen as much. I've seen more success. Yeah, I've seen more success than you and Boris, and which makes me sad because I feel guilty that I've seen this and I can talk about it, and I do feel guilty because you guys should see the same success I've seen.
You know what? What amazes me a little bit is that I've admitted several times that I've become a jaded Tottenham fan, and what impresses me about you, Boris, and I'm going to pay you a big compliment, mate, is that you haven't seen us win anything but you are much more optimistic about stuff than I am when it comes to Spurs. I'm not going to get into the whole negative thing because you know my feelings on that, but overall, I will say that you have a much more optimistic attitude towards Tottenham, and I know you do as well, Dermo. So I admit that I'm the jaded one. But my reason for being jaded is because I haven't seen much success, unlike Dermo, who has seen us win stuff. But you haven't seen us really do anything other than the Champions League final. So I'm interested to know why you haven't become jaded. Maybe you haven't been a fan long enough. That's not me knocking you. I'm curious to know why you're still as optimistic as you are, considering that we haven't really won anything under your entire kind of watch, Boris.
Overall, with that, I'd say, yeah, you're right. That's the thing, though. I could be jaded, I could be upset with it, but I just find, like, I'm not disrespecting you here. I just find that sort of mindset boring. Like, yes, I'm angry that we haven't won stuff, but I just don't see a point in taking it out. Like, I'll be angry at the owners and stuff like that. Like, you sometimes hear me say, like, I'm disappointed that we haven't done this sort of stuff, but I just don't see a point of being into like that sort of negative attitude because people around my age, like a lot of them are like the heavy sort of Enoch out, Levy out sort of stuff, and I'm just like, doesn't that just get boring? I just want to keep happy with my club. Like, I understand, like, yeah, everybody has a right to it. Like, of course I'm going to be angry, but I just don't see a point in being that sort of angry. Overall, I just don't see it. I don't see a point in being angry. Like, yeah, I'm going to be angry if we don't do certain stuff. Like, and sometimes I have gone a bit over the edge with like how I am. Like, I don't have my calm demeanor and stuff like that. I do sometimes get angry with it. Like I was losing my sanity when I was constantly watching Jose and Conte just bash the club non-stop. Like, yes, he had their right opinions and stuff like that, but at the same time, I feel more of my hatred. It wasn't towards the board, really. It was more towards the managers. Like, I understand, like, they weren't getting backed per se, but at the same point, I just can't be angry with it. Like, I haven't been a Spurs fan long enough to really get that sort of anger levels or like a distaste for the club and how it's run. Like, I am disappointed because like we supposedly have this much money to spend, but we don't end up spending it. Like, I do admit Levy is a SHIT sort of a football director, but on the business side, you can't fault the guy. He's probably one of the best business owners in football. Like, I'd say, like, if what is true, like what we've had before, like Samantha Aisley and stuff like that, and that team come in and do basically what Jim Ratcliffe has done, I feel like that'll improve the club a lot, and it'll make a lot of more jaded fans in that regard become a lot more optimistic. But I just don't see a point in becoming jaded in my sense yet, because I just still enjoy watching the club play, even if we do play terrible at times. I just still
it is interesting. It's interesting because it's like I'm looking at myself, and I didn't come into it jaded either. And I'm trying to work out in my head how many years I was more positive about Spurs than I became. The first Levy thing was Martin Yole. I think after Martin Yole, that's when I started, and his treatment. That's when I started to really be a lot more jaded.
see, I can see it from a different point of view, guys. We went through this last night, that I can remember us nearly going out of existence. So maybe I see it from a different point of view to how you guys see it. Because I've seen this nearly go out of existence. I've seen this within days of not existing. Not having a football club to support. Not having Tottenham Hotspur, the name, gone. And maybe I can lean back on that as my tough time as a Spurs fan. I cried. I'll admit that. I was a teenager. I went to bed bawling my eyes out because I didn't think I'd wake up the following morning with a football team to support.
Yeah.
And I never want you or Boris to go through what I went through. And that is the most horrible thing. And then we've seen clubs go bust, right? And we've seen clubs go bang recently. I know how them fans feel. Because I nearly went through. We're getting a lot of feedback.
From who? Me or?
I don't know.
I'll mute myself. Let me know if it's still there, and then we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Put yourself back on. Put yourself back on, Tequila. No, it was
Okay.
Boris. Sorry, Boris, man. So I don't mean. I probably a bit different from you guys. And this is why I'm not so leaving out and I'm leaving the middle, because I'm a bit more lenient, because I've seen this then go out of existence. And for nobody that was around that time, it's very hard to explain how that felt like. It's very hard to explain how you felt as a Spurs fan watching your club. You were banking. We had the bank on to win the FA Cup to survive. We had the bank on selling Paul Gascoigne to give the bank £4 million for the club to survive. We were 8 million in debt. 8 million now is sod all. 8 million back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was an amount, was loads of money, was a major amount of money. And I can understand why people are frustrated. And yeah, I'm frustrated we haven't won trophies. I'm frustrated we haven't done well. I'm frustrated we haven't done this. I'm frustrated we haven't done that. But maybe this is where I'm a bit more lenient, because I've seen Tottenham in a tougher situation than this. Winning the trophy, yeah, you get angry, you don't win the trophy. But watching your club nearly go out of existence is a whole different ball game. And this is where I feel for you guys that in one way, you don't have to go through that. But in another way, I understand how you guys feel, because you haven't seen the success I've seen. And, I've seen this win 2 FA Cups, a League Cup runners-up, a UEFA Cup. I've seen this win 3 FA Cups, a UEFA Cup and 2 League Cups. You, Tequila Zola, seen this win 2 League Cups, and Boris seen this win bugger all. And I understand your frustrations. I understand your anger. I understand your why you feel jaded. But because I've seen us nearly go out of existence, maybe I'm a bit numb to it. Maybe I have to think, well, it isn't as bad to what I can remember. And that's not putting you guys down. That's not belittling how you guys should feel, because you guys have every right to feel how you feel. But maybe I'm looking at it from a different perspective. Maybe I'm looking at it from a different point of view. And maybe I should look at your view. Maybe I should understand how you guys feel. But I don't, because I've seen worse. And I don't mean to be rude to you guys, but I really feel for you guys. I feel so guilty that you haven't seen what I've seen, and I wish you did. And I want you to feel how I feel if we win a trophy. I want you to feel that buzz, that happiness, that excitement, that euphoria of all summer. We've won a competition. We're the best. We're the best in the FA Cup. We're the best in Europe. I want you to feel that more than anybody. And you guys deserve that. Philip's seen more than I have. And Wilton McDonald's seen more. He's seen us win the double. So do you know? I'm not. Please don't think I'm belittling you. I'm not. But I've just seen worse. But you're right to feel angry, and you have every right to feel how you feel. So please take that. I'm not trying to belittle. I hope I'm not.
No, you're not. But that's why I asked Boris. I was interested in Boris, but who hasn't seen us win anything.
G'day, David.
And Boris has been a fan, a third of the time as me.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, the reason I've become jaded is because it's all I've known really has been the ENIC era. And I've been under the ENIC era for 3 times longer than Boris. Yeah. Again, that's not disrespecting Boris. I'm trying to give you the reason why I've become jaded, because it's all I've known. All I've known is the ENIC stuff, and I've had to live under the ENIC stuff for 3 times longer than Boris. So that's why I asked Boris about how he's able that he hasn't become that. And I don't know, maybe who knows what the future will bring. Maybe Boris will. Maybe if this goes on for another 15 years, maybe Boris will. I don't know. Or maybe he won't. I don't know. I can't tell the future. But that's where I'm coming from, is all I've known is the ENIC stuff, and I've had to put up with it for my whole Spurs fandom, which has been 25 years, 26 years.
Yeah.
That's all I've known.
Yeah, but can you understand from my point of view? If it wasn't for Alan Sugar, you wouldn't have this now. And everyone's
I understand that. It's just trying to explain where we're all coming from. Nobody's right or wrong. I understand where you're coming from, because you're looking at a deeper picture that I can't really relate to. And I'm looking at it from a club who people keep telling me how big a club we are. We've won 2 League Cups in 25 years.
And then,
that doesn't scream a big club, but I know that history wise we have been a big club, but it's not what I see.
We still are a big club. But this beggars another question, Dan. This is from David, Dan. I know this is sort of going off topic, guys, and this is what I love these shows, when we do get into these competitions and the chat. Do please pick up your membership, send in the super chat. If you want to take us a different way, send in the super chat. And take the show where you want us to take it. This show, guys, for you. You guys are the show. I put shows together with Tequila, Boris, and Philip, and Colin, and we think, well, this is a show we want. But if you guys want to ask us a question and you want to get top of the queue, put it in the super chat. Look, I know times are tough out there. I know times are not easy, and we get that. We're all struggling. But it does help us. It does help us move forward as a channel. It helps us grow, and it helps us bring better content, better graphics, better music, better stuff for you guys so you can enjoy a better channel. So, look, the formation of the Premier League. David says, big up David as a member as well. And you want to be like David with his thing next to his name. Do pick up our memberships. 1992 onwards broke English football. The Premier League is the cancer that's within British football. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Do you want to go first, Boris?
I don't mind who goes first. You can if you want.
Do I think it broke the football? I mean,
no, it's not. Is it broke football? Is it the cancer? You look at the Man City thing. You look at the Premier League, how they've dragged the heels over Man City. It has all this corruption and there's all this. If football was still the first division, as I remember it, and probably you vaguely remember it, Tequila, has football changed for the better, or has football changed for the worst because of the Premier League? And that goes like with Europe as well. Has Europe now changed for the worse because of the Super League? That this is what this is. The Europa League is a glorified Super League. This is what it is. So has football changed from 92 onwards? Has football changed for the better, or has football changed for the worst?
God, that's a very difficult question, don't we?
Well, let me put it this way then. Has football changed for the better for stadiums, facility for fans, and fan safety?
Yes, all that stuff is yes.
Okay. Has football change for the worse because of there's no free-to-air TV. You have to buy Sky TV to watch any matches. There's no free-to-air TV. So has that gone backwards? Is that the worst side of what the Premier League brought?
Yeah, the fact that there is just the 3 p.m. blackout and all stuff like that. Yeah, 100%. And it's we're at a point where, at least in England, this is what I mean. And other countries don't have this. In England, there is no. Do you remember when Liverpool had their own channel and United? Do they still have their own channels? I don't know.
Yeah, they do. We get a 3 o'clock kickoff every Saturday here in Ireland on Premier Sports. Yeah,
so we're not allowed that luxury, and it shouldn't be. That's what I mean. We're not even allowed that luxury. There's no way, unless you do quote unquote illegal things. There's no way for someone in England to watch every Spurs match. There's no way to watch it live. On television, it's impossible to do legally. That's a massive issue.
So that answers the question. Then, has it changed for the better or the worst? If you add all of that together.
I'd say maybe a slight worse, although the quality of the football again probably is in pride. They're better athletes, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Now, I can remember going to Tottenham in the 80s, right, Boris? And I remember as a young cad standing, being put in front, and we had all gates in the 80s, right? And let us not forget the 98 people who the 98 fans that suffered, that were I'm going to say it, 98 fans that were murdered by the incompetence of the South Yorkshire police on that day. That changed football forever in England. And we should never forget what happened that day. And I remember, and it nearly happened in 81 at Leicester as well, when we played played Wolves in the semi-final at Hillsborough as well. But for you now going to football now, Boris, from when I used to go as a kid, has that side of football changed for the better? But also, has football also changed for the worst on the other side? It's still the same question to you. Then to you, like it was for Boris. I'm Tequila, sorry.
Yeah, well, I think it has changed for the better in regards to safety regulations, because we can't. I agree with you. Like South Yorkshire Police had a big impact that day, but it was also the Liverpool stands as well. What were also a big impact as well, because they overpopulated the stadium. No offense to them, no offense to the people who lost lives, because it was a tragedy, but it was actually also staff incompetence as well for overpacking the stadium, because that was bound to happen one of those days with that many people inside of a stadium all standing. That was bound to happen one day or the other, no matter what. Even if that didn't happen back then, if Hillsborough didn't happen back then, it would have happened at a later date, and it could have been 10 times as worse.
Yeah,
because football was a big sport, but it just kept growing and growing and growing. So if that happened, let's say now, if Hillsborough never happened and it happened now, like let's say at Old Trafford or at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or the Emirates or the Etihad, whichever one it happens at, that could be like 1,000 odd people what could end up dying now, because of how big the stadiums are. If it was still allowed standing seats, that could be more people. So overall, it has improved the safety aspect of it, because I think there's a quote: if you don't make changes, you're bound to repeat the mistakes of your ancestors.
Yeah, and them 98 should never be forgotten. They should never be forgotten. I think you guys would agree with me on that, don't you? Well, I hope you would anyway. That the 98 should never be forgotten. And
no, I don't think it is though, mate.
No, but I mean, as a point, they should never be forgotten because of. I don't think the Premier League has been this big success. It's been a big commercial success, but I don't think it's brought football in the UK any further forward than what it would have done if it was the First Division. It's all down about money. We look at the Man City thing. How long's that been dragging on? Yeah, we've got better stadia. We've got better facilities. We've got better players playing in the league. But you got a team that's broke 130 something charges, still playing in the Premier League. You've got an organisation that is probably corrupt to fuck. So,
but to argue that point, every league has that. La Liga has that, because look how many breaches Barcelona's probably had. If Barcelona were in the Premier League, that'd be like 200 plus breaches, more than City ever would have fought in lifetimes. Let's have a look at Real Madrid. Look at all their dodgy dealings.
Don't get started on Serie A as well.
Their alleged dodgy dealings behind from the when Spain was under. I remember his name, the alt-right leader of Spain, like when it was fascist Spain. All those leaders, look how many dodgy dealings were going on back those days, and now let's look at the scandal in Italy. Look at what's happening now. There still is scandals going on. Look at perfect example, Paratici burning the books. Like,
don't diss the Don.
I'm not dissing it. I'm stating a fact. You can say it.
Don't diss the Don.
I'll diss him all I want, but he's Italian. He was found out for being a dodgy bloke, which is why we brought him in.
Okay, question then for you. I asked the question last night to Tequila. We made this point last night, didn't we, Tequila, on the Levy thing, right? We've really gone off topic what the show was all about, by the way.
It was meant to be about the Europa League, remember? If anyone remembers, it wasn't meant to be about Europa League.
I'm still waiting for the draw for the League Cup as well. So, guys, as soon as we know who Tottenham get, we will let you know straight away. Newcastle, right? Yeah, Newcastle have beaten Nottingham Forest 4-3 in penalties.
That's a shame.
So, Forest are out. We've got the draw coming up, guys. So look, I asked this to Tequila last night. When Paratici was in charge of our recruitment, we bought in players like Van der Ven, Destiny, Papa Sarr, Basuma. We bought all these good young players. John Lang has brought in not great players, to be fair. Do you feel... And Daniel leaves a bit more hands-on. Do you feel Paratici was still working for us full-time? Levy wouldn't be so hands-on and the transfers would be better? Or do you don't see it like that?
I agree with the fact that the Levy wouldn't be as hands-on, because we know how Paratici acts. He likes to do his work himself, and whereas it seems like Johan Lang doesn't have that sort of personality with him. And I even said this in the chat as well, I think yesterday and stuff like that. I feel like Lang is only there temporary until Paratici's band's up, and then Paratici will probably end up resuming his duties as the actual full director of football. In that regard, I feel like he will become that once again. I'm not saying at all he's a terrible guy. I'm a terrible guy at his job, because he's an amazing guy. I was just pointing out the fact that I know that I'm just trying to say, because I know you take it as that, but some people would take it as the fact I'm just disrespecting him, even though all of the good stuff he's done. But he's a great guy. He was just found out doing the dodgy stuff. But that's 100 times what happens with Italian football. They've always been known for that sort of stuff. But overall, I feel like with Lang, Levy is able to claw his way back into the dealings, and I don't know how Munn's allowed that to happen, considering from what we've heard that Munn was supposed to be the sporting director of the thing, making sure that Levy hold on to the business side of it. So I don't know what Munn's doing at this point, because I feel like Munn's just sitting back and collecting a paycheck, like the guy who was in charge of getting the naming rights for the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, well, that's another show. Do you agree with this, guys? It's not a working man's game no more. Cheaper to go to rugby. Tequila.
It's becoming that way. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say the transition's not made yet.
It is. For me, it is. For me, it totally is not.
It depends what you mean by. I mean there are people who I would class as working men who still do have a season ticket, but it's squeezing them more and more. It's on its last legs.
That's probably a good way of putting it, actually. It is on its last legs. The draw is still, updates will continue. We're just waiting for the draw to happen, guys. So we will give the update.
What are we looking for? We want a home game against the lowest division side that's left.
Now, we are number 23, guys. This is how it works. The clubs that compete in Europe competitions get a bye into the third round. Hang on. We're getting something here. Hang on now. We're getting something here, guys. We're getting the right. So, what we're getting. Okay, it's just West Ham. Right. So, that means that the likes of Villa, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man United and Chelsea will find out the first opponents. However, they will not be able to face each other just yet in the tournament due to new rules implemented by the EFL. The major change has been made in order to keep with European club fixtures. I just want to welcome a few more people in, guys. I've got Knights of Republic, got a few Europe things started, sir. There was somebody else that popped in. David Shear's been a member for 7 months. Big up, David. Thank you for your support.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Gobber.
Cheers,
I mean, thank you so much for your support, man. It means a hell of a lot to me and the guys here on the channel. It really does. Thank you so much. Your support has been has been amazing. And guys, Tequila, do you want to say anything to David? 7 months. That's
David's one of the most generous people I've seen on YouTube. I've seen him in several chats, and not only does he back a lot of channels, but he also will throw out, the way he does it as well is that a lot of times when he backs the channels, he'll throw out random memberships to people, which is great because some people can't afford, as you know, they can't afford to get the membership. So David is a class act when he does stuff like that. He'll throw memberships out to people who can't afford to get their own. So big up, David, mate. He's really generous, dude.
Yes, big up to Steve R. Start supporting the last year. We were promoted. God, 77, 78. 78, 76, yeah, 77, 78. Wow. We've got Resting Football, right, guys? A couple of things here. He says, I think as fans, we should get angry with our club, gladly take our money for shirt sales and ticket prices, but never backs the manager and never rebuilds the squad. I think we can all sort of agree on that. We got the Premier League. This is a question, guys, and I want to know what you think of this, right? The Premier League will become an NFL or an NBA, like where players have so much power in clubs and leagues.
Nearly already there, mate. That's what I think. Yeah. I think we're not that far off already doing that.
Do you agree with that as well, Boris, very quickly, because I've got a few to go through?
Kind of. Because we already have a league like that anyway, it's the MLS.
Yeah. So are you thinking like franchises? Are you looking at picks?
I hope that doesn't happen. I hope stuff like franchises is pretty much what MK Dons did to Wimbledon. So no, I hope that doesn't happen, dude. Moving to different areas. No.
Yeah. Let's be honest. When the Arabs bought City and was backed by a nation state, how could a local club compete with the trillions when they struggled to keep the lights on? Do you know what? This is where I think the Premier League has failed in its fit. What's the rule they have for owners?
Well, it's the word I think you're looking for is due diligence, and they failed miserably by letting. Well, no, their first big failure you can say was the dude from Blackburn, I suppose, but they certainly failed with Abramovich. So, and then it's gone worse from there.
Yeah, look, for me, Blackburn in '95 were the first. Jack Walker was the first.
Jack Walker, wasn't it? That was right. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that bought the league first. Bought Blackburn the league. So that's how the league is, guys. We're waiting for the draw. It's due to come up now in a minute. There is a bit of a delay. I am not watching this live, by the way, guys. I'm waiting for it to come up on.
Depends who's doing the draw there, mate.
It's here Sky Sports. I've got it up in the background anyway, so I'll keep an eye on it.
Who's doing the draw, Boris?
Yeah. So these are the numbers.
It's Sky Sports at the minute.
Oh, okay.
So these are the numbers. Arsenal 1, Villa 2, Barnsley 3, Borough 4, Blackpool 5, Bolton 6, Brighton 7, Chelsea 8, Coventry 9, Palace 10, Everton 11, Fleetwood Town 12, Fulham 13, Leicester 14, Leighton Orient 15, Liverpool 16, Man City 17, Man United 18, 19 Preston North End, 20 QPR. So they're the numbers. Stoke 22, Spurs number 23, that's our number. 24 Warsaw, 25 Watford, 26 AC Wimbledon or Ipswich Town. We know that. We know Southampton have beaten Cardiff. We know Ipswich, I think, have beaten AFC Wimbledon. Then Colchester, we know Brentford 28, Newcastle's 29. I don't know about the Wycombe or Swansea game or the West Ham at 31, and Wolves are 32. So we're waiting for the draw. So we'll wait for that, guys, to come in.
It was Wycombe. Wycombe won that 1-0 against Swansea.
Okay. Well, let's go through the chat here. When you get something, just give us a shout, Boris. Just say, I got a draw.
We'll do.
Just say,
We'll
okay.
do. I'll just keep it open in my background for you.
Yeah.
Keep it minimized.
Hot God 10 said Sky and Premier League are the envy of Europe. Yep, they are. £4 in the back in 86. £4. And it was cheap to go to Tottenham back in them days, Tequila. £4.
£4.
£4. I remember my dad paying £4 taking me to Tottenham.
But you have to remember, though, £4 was like a week's worth of shopping back then as well.
No, in the 80s, £4 didn't get you a lot. Yeah, I suppose it was I'm trying to think back in the 80s as a kid. I know £4 bought me lots of
chocolate bars. Chocolate bars were like 20p, stuff like that, Dermo. So
the Daily Sport, I remember that as well. Sorry, right, I should have said that.
Buses were like 33p. I remember getting on a bus and it was like 30p.
Geordie's one. David says, "Sorry, Carl, it's not a kind of having a crack at you guys. Love you. I don't know what that's about. What we love, you do love you, David. You're a legend, man." And David, as you remember, you come on Sunday after the Newcastle game. Join me and Tequila for post-match live. It's your chance, guys, to come on.
Yep,
it's your chance to come on. F the two-tier police, whatever that means, DJ.
I agree with you, DJ. So yeah.
Two-tier care. Good day, DJ Cover. I know it is. Gerard saying it's not a working man's game and no more. Yeah, it is. We read that.
I would say to Gerard's comment, yes, it's not a working man's game for Tottenham, but if you look down in the Championship, like there are season tickets for like £11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. David says the fat cats get let off the FAO joke. Well, look, I think we all agree in this channel that Man City need to have the book thrown at them, but will they? Probably not. Yes, we can say that we've been a Premier League team the whole time it's been around. As the teams that haven't, yeah, I suppose that's true. David said Forest were stupid, but imagine Leicester getting relegated. Players getting sold and then they earn promotion and then they hit with a points deduction. Everton the same. What else we got? If the Premier League didn't happen, none of these world-class players would ever have come to English football.
It's true.
That is true. Because La Liga and Serie A would have still been classed as the top flight for football. The sponsorships, unfortunately, didn't come in.
And look, when I mentioned Hillsborough, I was mentioning it in a way that it changed football for the better. But I think the Premier League also has its bad side as well. That the fat cats have got richer and the poor clubs have got poorer. But if you look at stadia and facilities for fans, that's improved. I mean, that's
the gap's getting bigger, Dermo, between the Premiership and everyone else. I mean, we're seeing that the three teams that are getting promoted and pretty much nearly always going right back down. I mean, maybe other than Forest was the only one I can really think of over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's true. Hot God 10 says the revenue from Sky filters down to the 18 clubs in the Premier League. Ridiculous amount of money in the pot. Yeah, we are going to do a show on that, actually. No disputing that, Carl. But merch and prices went up along with the pay-to-air. Yeah, and that's the problem. Pay-to-air TV. Oh, Unjust had... Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, Carl. Knights of Republic, lads, did you what Gary Neville said about the league should have a spending cap? I agree with this, by the way. On certain positions, for example, right back should cost between 15 to 35 million. I agree with that. No. Maybe we could put that in the podcast.
That's a good topic to discuss. Yeah, we should do a podcast on that. Interesting.
Yeah, we will. Big up Knights of Republic. Knowing our luck, we get Chelsea. We cannot get Chelsea. We cannot get Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, or Man United. We cannot get any of them. Yes, I watched that night. We are going to do one. Kids kicking Derm, LOL. Yeah, I feel like I'm being. I feel that I'm being taught a few things, but look, I feel like I'm the elder statesman on this channel, apart from me and Philip. Me and Philip are like the elder statesman.
Only just about. It's not by
well,
many
you two
years,
are like
Dermo.
two teenagers compared to me.
Oh
and Philip.
God, I wish I was a teenager again. Yeah, right.
Well, Boris is a baby in that piece. You're an unruly 20-year-old. I won't do as you told.
Yeah, 20.
And I mean, we all know that Uncle Albert is Philip. All he does is keep talking about during the war. We know that.
Going to pay for that one, Dermo.
I know. I mean, I'm Del Boy and you're Rodney Tequila. You know that.
I'll take that. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. We've got Dermo, says Gerard. Do you think Spurs and the Big Six should be allowed to buy the league, one or two teams, and save them, use them as fit? Do you know what? I think there's another show in that. There's a show you and me can do actually, Tequila, to pre-record for the members.
Well, there was agreements between clubs before. I can't remember who we used. I mean, I know that we seem to send a lot of players to Leyton Orient. Have you not noticed? And I know Man United had that thing in Belgium, didn't they? Do you remember they sent lots of players to Belgium? Yeah. So I don't know if it still happens officially, but
it's now part of the affiliate clubs. That's what they're now called. So way they can go to learn for free and reduce prices.
I'll tell you what we do, Gerard. I'll do some research into this, and I'll tell you what we'll do this for the members. We'll do this as a members video for you members, and I think that's our little treat for you guys. Send in questions as members. Send in what you want us to talk about for your member shows in the comments below. Or put them in the comments after the stream. What member shows you want us to do for you guys?
Maybe we can set up something on the community page, Dermo, so we can get people to put questions in.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah, big up. Gerard, it works there in other countries, but it gets very confusing. Steve R, left school 84, 20 for less fags. Yeah, fags. I remember that. Yeah,
fags less than a quid. Yeah.
I know. I started smoking quite early. I used to nick my mum's Dunhill International.
Yeah, it seems the draw will happen once the match between Newcastle and Forest is over. So like all the punditry is all done with.
So using that, a question I want to get to, very guy, before we wait for the draw, guys. We do apologise, and I do apologise to Mrs. Tron. We are waiting for the draw, by the way. That's why I'm still on. I'm just getting myself out of trouble.
You getting the evil eyes, are you, Dermo?
Pardon?
Said you're getting the evil eyes, are you, Dermo?
I tell you one thing, Mrs. Tron is very supportive of my YouTubing. She is the boss of the channel. You do realise that. We all know that.
I know that.
Yeah, Mrs. Tron's the boss of the channel. Boris will know that.
He knows now.
Spending cap would ever work if every other year. Exactly, Carl. We can get Chelsea. No, we can't. Oh, can we? No, we can, because it's only teams in the Champions League and the Europa League. The Conference League is up for grabs. Oh, Jesus. I'm 56. Big up, Steve. I bet you look 21, sir. I bet you look 21. Damn, you're a younger cobbo.
He's a Spurs fan, Dermo. No way he looks 21 if you're following that long. Bless. Sorry, Steve, but there's no way.
David says, damn, you are a younger cobbo, LOL. You're not 50 yet. I will be 50 in a couple of years' time. That'd be a good stream. My 50th. That'd be a party in hell. Steve, I want to be at 5K by the time I'm 50. There you go. There's a target. Steve, you got me at 54 there. Philip is Tom Jones' twin brother. Oh, this is so not unusual. Also, as fans, we should never forget the Super League and how the mighty clubs were put on their asses by fans. Now, we talked about this last night, didn't we, Tequila? And we're not going to get into that. And that people have put some really good pre-record member streams here that like us three could do, or me, and Philip, or all of us can do. So, guys, do get them in. So, I hope you're taking a note of these, Tequila. If I start these, then maybe you can copy and paste them for me.
You're telling me now. I will now, but yeah. You just telling me now.
Carl says, Mrs. Tron likes the choir. I don't know what Mrs. Tron. Mrs. Tron just likes me, probably just.
Getting yourself into hot water, Dermo. Quick while you're ahead, bruv.
Yeah, I think I will. She'll be in with the frying pan in a minute.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Well, I tell you one thing, Mrs. Trump has it really. I must say, have to say, I'm very lucky. She's so supportive of me on this channel and shows me a lot of support. And I'm very grateful for the support she gives me. She really does. Fags £30 for a pack, 30 here in Australia. Government put up alcohol and cigs twice. You were, Steve. You were one of my first subs, man, back in the day, back in TTG days. Wow. Wow, that is going back. There is a montage. It was our 3rd birthday last week. Colin is doing the montage for us of the whole 3 years. So that is coming, guys. If Philip watches this, he's going to kill you. Yeah. I think so. If you don't see me,
we'll try to tape it. One of us will try and tape the fight.
Yeah. No.
You can watch. You can watch it on pay-per-view. And we'll charge and everything.
It'd be Mrs. Trump with a frying pan and Philip with a pitchfork.
Sounds like Cluedo. Philip with the pitchfork. Philip with the pitchfork in the garden.
Who did it? David's just running around his floor laughing so much, you know, he just keeps, and everyone's just, why are you laughing, David? He just keeps pointing at the screen. How do I do a pick?
How do you do a what? A pitch?
Oh, God, he's in.
Yeah, you're okay. So it seems to be in Tequila. Just to inform you guys, it'll be me and Tequila on Friday alone because it seems Demo will probably be 6 foot under the ground.
Oh, I'm half expecting him to pop in, you know.
Pick up Phil. He's you can get him. He's here. He's still on.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the draw. So yeah, come on.
Yeah, we are waiting for the draw. We're just waiting for the League Cup draw. Oh, Mrs. Tron's busy watching something on the laptop. I told you you're screwed. The icon of Ireland has arrived. Me and Philip have got something special planned for the Ireland-England game. We were talking about today how we were going to arrive. Do you know that picture I sent you earlier on WhatsApp, Tequila?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, we're going to be dressed like that.
That'll be something to see. That'll be if everyone tune in, that'll be a laugh. That will. If they come dressed as that.
G'day, Cover Philip. G'day, Boris, mate. Says David. Told you were screwed. Howdy all. Howdy all. I don't chat much. Well, look, you're here. You press the like button. You hit the subscription button. That's all I can ask. And also pick up a membership as well, Stephen. You can get to come on to these fan shows. Just very quickly while we're waiting for this draw, clubs who qualified for knockout playoffs will receive €300,000, which is around £253,000, around €1.75 million for reaching the last 16. That sum increases to $2.5 million for reaching the quarterfinals and $4.2 million for reaching the semi-finals. Europa League finalists will earn $7 million each, with an additional $6 million for the winner. And then, what has UEFA said about the new format? Are we past 9 o'clock yet?
Yes, we're at 10:30, dude.
Yeah. For fuck's sake, I don't understand it, and why change it?
Dollar is the answer.
Yeah. Now, question for you guys. If I wasn't in the car, I'd be on. Oh no.
Yeah. Wasn't it? If a car comes crashing into your house right now and hits you, you know who's behind the wheel.
I just hope
it's either going to be a car or a pipe bomb. One of the two.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. You've just said something which is a private joke between me and Philip knows what I'm thinking. We said it to each other today. Oh Lord, just I'm definitely not here Friday. I'm definitely going to be somewhere else. Right, the draw on Friday is done by AI. Right? How confident are you is not really corrupt? Apparently, if the draw was done by normal people, it would take 5 hours to do. Right?
That should tell you something right there, shouldn't it?
So, the question is, do you think Friday's draw is going to be a bit corrupt?
Depends which AI is it. If it's HAL from 2001, then there might be problems.
If it's Jarvis from the Avengers, then we should be all right. But that might turn into Ultron. But
could be Ultron ends up doing it. Yeah.
The draw is starting now. They're just explaining.
Yeah, and that's like, right. I get the numbers up, guys. I get the numbers up. So just let me know which number comes up first. Then
yep.
Right. The first one is Liverpool versus West Ham. That's the first team out of the draw.
Okay, that's one of the favourites probably going out.
Yeah, it's an old Premier League tie. Just waiting for the second one now. Home Liverpool at home for that, by the way, guys. That's a tricky one for West Ham.
That's probably West Ham out then, probably.
Yeah, probably. Just waiting for the second draw now. Don't forget, guys, Tottenham are number 23. Man City versus Watford. Man City are at home. Another. So that should be Man City
cricket
into
score,
the next round. Who would you like Tottenham to get? I would just like to get Coventry. Arsenal versus Bolton. A big draw for the League One side. I just want to get Coventry City because I think Philip needs to get that out of his system. 1987.
Home game against Fleetwood Town, probably for me.
Yeah, that.
Or Barrow.
Or Barrow, yeah.
Or even
Man United versus Barnsley. Man United at home. I don't know how Colin would feel about that.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Knights of the Republic has just donated €5.
I know. I am going to get it. Yeah, thank you so much, Knights of the Republic. Just give us 2 minutes. We'll read your super chat out. Thank you so much, guys. It really means so much to us all. It really does. Wickham at home to Aston Villa. Wow.
Big tie for Wickham now.
Yeah. Very quickly, lads, what era of football was best in your opinion? Mine would be the early, late 20s. The football was smooth and there was ballers everywhere. We will get to that in a minute, Knights of the Republic. We're going to leave it up there and we are going to get to your super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Coventry versus Tottenham at Coventry. A repeat of the... Yeah, Philip's up there. Sorry. Revenge for 1987 incoming. I knew that was coming. It's the repeat of the 1987 FA Cup final where Coventry beat us. But we are away to Coventry, guys. That is... Revenge is coming. Revenge is coming. You two need to go and watch the 87 Cup final to understand why. But we are away to Coventry, guys. Tottenham Hotspur starting the third round. Walsall versus Leicester. I knew Philip was going to put that in. Revenge for 87. I knew he was.
It's a tricky tie, actually.
Yeah. Hello to Mrs. Brady if you listen this through a radio. Hello, Mrs. Brady. We've got Walsall. We've got Brentford versus Leyton Orient. Daniela, it's a London derby for you. We will cover that tie for you over on our other channel. Blackpool versus Sheffield Wednesday. That's a tough tie.
Hopefully, Donnelly starts for Leyton Orient then against
hopefully.
Brentford.
Yeah. It's exciting now. It's a competition we can win. We can win this League Cup.
We said that last year, and look what happened.
Well, we have got around further than we did last year, to be fair. Preston, I'm being sarcastic saying that. Preston versus
You
Fulham.
really are, Dermo. You really are.
Preston versus Fulham. Sod these blooming draws being late. Everton versus Southampton.
Two probably relegated sides fighting relegation. Those two.
I don't know there's many draws left, is there, Boris?
No, I think there's like 4 or 5 draws left. Should be.
Okay, well, let's get to the Knights Republic. Super chat. He's put €5 in. Thank you so much, sir.
Cheers, bro.
Tequila, I'll let you go first. Very quickly, QPR versus Crystal Palace. Another London derby. Go on.
I think I agree with him. The same era, I think. I think that my favourite times, at least as a Spurs fan, probably was that as Martin Neal might have been my favourite manager, but I think actually I enjoyed Harry Redknapp's team. Even though Pochettino and I know we were good under Poch for the most part, but if I'm honest, that period, that 2004, 2006, that period there when Bale and Modders was there. I think I agree with him. I do. I think it's the the 2000s in general. Yeah, I agree. I agree with him. I do. I'm the same.
Can I just say very quickly, right? Just to get this. This here was the simulated draw before they did the main draw. And who did we get? Coventry City.
Would have preferred that one. At least we're at home.
Yeah. You, Boris, which has been your best? Which has been what era of football is the best in your opinion?
2010s. Because it's the one I grew up with, really, and it seems it's Stoke versus Fleetwood as well. Yeah. But I'd say 2010s in regards to it because it had probably one of the best eras of football, in my personal opinion, because it's what I watched. Not like the best in the entire thing because I wasn't able to watch any of them. But overall, I'd say it's the best from my experience because we got to see like the rise of like players like Messi, Neymar, and also their downfalls, and we saw like great, amazing players retire as well. Unfortunately, as well.
For me, it would have to be the 80s because I grew up in the 80s. For me, it have to be the 80s football. Men were men.
Oh damn! Wimbledon versus Newcastle.
Yeah, I saw that. I have to be the 80s for me. Graham Roberts, Paul Miller, Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa, Tony Galvin, Chris Hughton. We had Garth Crook, Steve Archibald up front, Glenn Hoddle,
and the final
Chris
draw was
Waddle.
Chelsea versus Barrow.
All them players as well. For me, would have to be the 80s, and for me, we won a lot. But that was for me when football was football. But big up Knights of the Republic. Thank you so much for the €5. So you have no idea how much that means to us, how much that goes towards helping us succeed to become the #1 Irish Spurs channel in Ireland. And Dave, if you're watching, we're coming for you, son. We're coming for Europe.
If I can add to Knights of the Republic, mate, is your name based on the game? Let me know. I actually want to know. I think it is, but let me know if it's based on the game.
Yeah. Help me, guys. We're after the Irish Hotspur. We're after your crown, son.
We're coming for you. I want to challenge Jack to a fight.
Yeah.
On FIFA.
Rexstrom is coming for Kildare, Mr. Harris. If you're watching this, Rexstrom is coming. God bless you, lads and ladies. Great show. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Well, the ladies, of course, is Mrs. Tron, the boss of the channel. She's like the proper CEO.
Oh, well, I could be a lady. I'm the Stig member. I could be anyone.
No. Mrs. Tron's a lady. She's the boss of the channel.
Well, discriminating against Tequila.
Yeah. I've just said to her, you're the boss of the channel. He went, damn right I am. My favourite time will be this season. Kept
Bless
the
you,
faith
Carl.
it's going to be good. Guys, I've created a new intro song. Okay, we will play that going out. This is the draw for the third round in full. Liverpool at home to West Ham, Man City at home to Watford, Arsenal at home to Bolton, Man United at home to Barnsley, Wycombe at home to Aston Villa, Tottenham away to Coventry, revenge for 87 for Mr. Brady and myself incoming, Walsall at home to Leicester, Brentford at home for Leyton Orient. Daniela, if you're watching, we will cover that game for you as well over in the European Football Network channel for you as well. Of course, we will, because now you're a massive Leyton Orient fan. Then we've got Blackburn versus Sheffield Wednesday, Blackpool versus Sheffield Wednesday, Preston versus Fulham, Everton versus Southampton, QPR versus Palace, Stoke versus Fleetwood, Brighton versus Wolves, FC Wimbledon versus Newcastle. And guys, we've got to cover this. We've got to cover this game. Chelsea versus Borough. Please, if there's any football gods in the world, please make Borough beat Chelsea. I would love that. I think it's a game we're going to have.
Chelsea at home. Chelsea at home, Dermo.
I would just love it. So
Lucky.
please, shall we cover that game? We've got to cover that game. Oh, dear. We've got to cover that game. I would love Borough to beat Chelsea. Yeah, he says, yes, my name is in honor of Star Wars 1977 to 2012. Well, 77 was a great year, because 77 was the year the Dermatron was born.
Oh, God.
See, the Dermatron came out screaming in Tottenham, in the world, in North Middlesex Hospital in Tottenham, came screaming. And
who do you think had the bigger ego, Dermatron or Colm?
Can I just say, my first words when I was born was, come on, you Spurs. They were my first words.
Colm's a bigger ego, just about, but it's Dermo's doing his best to compete, though.
Got you.
Look, there's only one Dermatron. There's only one Dermatron.
You're right about that.
Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah, but only been might have hit his twin off.
Get rid of him quite easily. See?
Carl's right, isn't he?
No, Tequila would tell you that's an old thing we used to do back in the day, wasn't it, Tequila?
He does it to everyone, Boris.
Yeah.
You know, expect it when you disagree with him. That's his comment.
Yeah. It's an old thing we did.
It's the Fidel Castro situation.
Yeah. Colin says, "Thank fuck there's only."
Damn right.
I think the world's quite happy there's only one Dermatron. Born in the same hospital. Me and DJ are hospital brothers. Oh yeah, nothing wrong with nothing wrong with North Middlesex Hospital. I'm struggling to watch modern movies. Oh God, yeah, Disney has ruined. Look, I want to do a stream on Disney and Marvel and Star Wars and the franchise, how they've ruined them. We've got to do a stream on that. I don't know how we would do it, but we are. Again, Davis fell on the floor laughing. I mean, he's rolling all over the place.
If the members want us to do a stream on Star Wars and Disney, then let us know. We'll do
maybe just make up saying that Disney's wanted to take over the Tottenham Hotspurs name, and then we'll just end up doing a stream on that, and it'll go off topic.
True.
Mrs. Tron is the boss. If Dermo pisses her off, then the channel is done.
Pretty much.
On that bombshell, we're going to leave it there. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming in tonight. Thank you so much for everything. Big up for David Shear to being a member for 7 months. Really appreciate it. Big up also for the Night Republic for the €5 super chat. Thank you so much as well.
Bro.
Again, thank you so much to our members. I want to bring them up. So as a member, so big up to David, who's a member. Big up there, Erwin as well. Didn't see you come in there, son.
I didn't see Erwin either. I didn't see Erwin.
I think he was at the start, but that was when everything was off the wires.
Yeah, where is it now? Big up to Mr. Brady, of course, the godfather of THFC till I die. Big up Erwin, we've got Coventry. Big up to who else are we going to say big up to? Big up to GJ Samuel as well. Big up DJ. Big up to everyone. Big up to Steve R, the first ever subscriber to this channel back in the day. Big up to Hog God 10 as well, who renewed his membership tonight as well. Just find you. Big up to Gerard as well. Big up, Gerard. Great to see you in. Big up to Hog God 10 for renewing your membership as well. So it means a hell of a lot to us. It really does, Guy. Tequila, where can people find you, sir?
Well, they can find me on this great channel. I will be around for the transfer window and the draw on Friday, so please everyone join us. And I'm also on my little gaming channel called The Play Pouch, where we haven't done a show this week because my mate was ill. Doing it tomorrow though, so please join.
And Boris, apart from finding you on here and also over on the European Football Network, where you and me will be doing some watch-alongs to some of these great games over there. Can people find you on social media, on TikTok or on Instagram or on X? Can people interact with you there?
Well, I haven't got my X fully set up, but once I do, I'll give it to Dermo so we can get all that sorted. But overall, once that's sorted, you'll be able to find me on there and have a discussion with me if you want to there. If you agree with me or disagree with me, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you no matter what, as long as we keep it civil, because I don't want to be discussing people with who can't be civilized, unfortunately, because I've had too much of that, unfortunately, in this fan base.
Right. Well, and also, thank you so much, guys, for everything you do. We would be nothing without you guys. You guys keep this channel going. We're having tomorrow off, but knowing us, we may be on if something breaks. Tottenham buys a player, but I wouldn't hold my breath. There's more chance of Tottenham buying a player than Samantha Fox coming out saying that I'm married to
Dermo. I know where you're taking that.
No,
I had a certain joke about a missing Portuguese situation.
No, all I'm going to say was Samantha Fox has come out and said she was married to Elvis Presley. He's still alive, and Lord Lucan is their butler. That's what I'm going to say. And sure, guys in their back garden grazing. But listen, thanks for watching, guys. We are back on Friday, of course. And of course, we've got all the build up to the game on Saturday over the weekend for the Newcastle game. Me and Tequila will be doing a preview, members only preview show as well for you guys. We may do that live, or we may do it pre-recorded. Don't know yet. But guys, whatever you do. Now, apparently, this is the new Spurs intro music. Apparently, so we're going to play the intro out with.
I need to make sure before you do that Com is not trolling, because I know what Com's like and I know the mood he's in. I'm actually going to ask him, Dermo. Continue. Just give me 1 minute.
No, he hasn't changed it.
No, okay.
On that bombshell, we'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching. God bless you. God bless. Look after each other. Love each other. But as always, come on, you Spurs, in Big Andrew trust. And do you want to send us out your usual Spurs stick?
Yeah.
Some say he has the best outro in the business. All we know, he's a Spurs stick.
Guys. Lovely.